Good to be together for PRS. If you're watching this video, it means I didn't quite make it home to LA as planned in time to introduce our reading from Exodus. I'm going to do it this way. In the narrative of Exodus that we've been following in recent weeks, God has just renewed God's covenantal commitment to remain present with the people of Israel, forgiving them for their infidelity after Moses has interceded for them. And this means that God is going to live among them intimately as they journey across the wilderness to inherit the land promised to their ancestors. So, what comes next in the story is the actual building of the tabernacle, according to the instructions that God has given Moses earlier on Mount Sinai. But not before Moses reiterates the Sabbath command, which is to govern all of Israel's life. So, even while the people undertake the sacred work of building the tabernacle, they're not to rush by working on the seventh day or forsake the rhythm of rest and work that God's presence requires and promotes among them. The Sabbath, it might be helpful to remember, is the origin of the institution that much of the world now knows and treasures as the weekend. Crucial in the history of Israel for the sustainability of land and people and animals, all in relationship to one another. But here, at this crucial point, it is reiterated because it must govern even the work of the people in building God's own home among them, the tabernacle. God is not a master that wants slaves to work as much as possible for the master's luxurious palace. God is a covenant partner who wants God's people to rest themselves, even when they're building God's own place among them. The building then begins with an invitation to all the people to offer their own possessions of precious metals, fabrics, and the other materials needed for the tabernacle. And this makes the tabernacle the fruit of the people's sharing their own possessions. Not under compulsion, though. If you listen carefully, it's voluntary and it ends up being very generous. And so the tabernacle then is not only the fruit of some of the people's precious possessions, generously and voluntarily given, but also of their artistic talents in various crafts. Moses tells them that God has called and gifted Bezalel and Oholiab to lead this artistic effort. And what is more, God has inspired them to teach others, whom God has also given skill and understanding for the arts that are involved in the many features of the tabernacle as well as the garments of the priests. The remainder of our reading is then devoted to the construction itself of the main structures of the tabernacle and then its sacred elements, the curtains, the frames, the Ark of the Covenant, the table of the bread of the presence, the table that's for that bread, the lampstand, the altar of incense. Each of these has symbolic significance in the way God gives life to the people of Israel, and everything is designed to be portable and durable in the desert as God moves and then the people follow. And yet, despite being portable and vertical and durable, the metals, the fabrics, the craftsmanship are also bright and colorful and intricate. The text could simply say, in a general way, that the people built the tabernacle according to the instructions given earlier on Sinai, but instead, it describes the building of each feature of the tabernacle carefully because it is like the wedding dress of God, worthy of description that is as careful as the work that goes into it. The life of the people of God, remember, is fundamentally about communion with God, and the tabernacle is the central organ of that communion. One last detail to keep in mind with the measurements that are given as you're trying to imagine the size of what is being built. A cubit is about 1/2 meter. We'll begin, as is our custom, with a prayer from the Psalms, Psalm 57.